as the founder of Project Kamakhya. Now, I'm a student of Ridge Valley School. I'm in grade 9. And Project Kamakhya is an initiative which I founded back in 2022, which aims to spread awareness and advocate about menstrual hygiene and sustainable menstruation for underprivileged adolescent girls and women. And I've been invited here to share about Project Kamakhya's journey. ये जो journey है, this started back in 2022 when I was just in grade 8. And एक दिन हुआ क्या, हमारे स्कूल में they hosted this seminar in collaboration with this foundation, which is called as 1M1B. And 1M1B stands for 1 million for 1 billion. And that seminar, it was about one of the 1M1B courses, which is called 1M1B Future Leaders. अब इस कोर्स में था क्या, all the students who enroll for this program, you need to start a project which is linked up with one or more sustainable development goals. And me being a very sustainability driven person, I went back home and I told my parents कि मेरे को ये program join करना ही करना है, because there are 3 levels to it. And all the students who clarify for the 3rd level, who clear the 3rd level, they get to present their project at the United Nations headquarters in New York for the 1M1B Activate Summit. And ये जो summit है, 1M1B Activate Summit, it is held annually. So my parents finally agreed to it. And a week later, I started with level 1 of 1M1B Future Leaders. So naturally, I was very overhyped about it. I was, really happy to enjoy and join this program. And first few days, we were mentored about, what really a project should be, आपको क्या aim करना चाहिए and all of that. And within the first few days, we were asked to submit a detailed report. And उस detailed report में you had to mention about your project's aim, what all SDGs, does it target, और हमें ये डालना था कि आप अपने project को name क्या करोगे. Now, I don't really remember how, but my menstrual cycle, actually, it started back in grade 6. And उस time पे, I got to know that how it's a topic which is still not openly talked about in the Indian society, and why it's so important. I mean, मैं खुद अपने periods पे, if I'm using 15 to 20 pads, and imagine the waste that is produced in the whole world if so many menstruators menstruate. So it's a topic which should really be talked about in the Indian society. And I came across this article, which was a very beautiful article in the Times of India, जिसमें लिखा हुआ था कि हमारी Indian mythology में Kamakhya Devi is referred to as the goddess of blood. She is the bleeding goddess, and Assam में उनका एक बहुत बड़ा मंदिर है, where it's believed that every month the main idol and the shrine menstruates, which is honestly so beautiful. And me being a very God-fearing and a spiritual person, I thought that this name would be super apt for my project. And right, so I submitted my detailed report, and उसके बाद मैंने अपना ये start करा. So I thought that I'll talk about sustainable menstruation. That a natural phenomena like menstruation is causing so much of harm to our environment. So why don't we, switch to sustainable alternatives? तो मैंने उस पे अपना project start करा. And after every level, there's this thing called as a go-no-go, which basically decides if you reach to the next level or you don't reach to the next level. So my level 1 go-no-go, I prepared this really cool presentation with all the Google stats, पूरे global stats मैंने Google से उठा के copy paste करके डाले. And my go-no-go, honestly, it went really well. But जब result आया तो मेरे नाम के आगे conditional लगा हुआ था. And conditional means that it's not a go, but it's also not a no, like you're not rejected. इस exam में compartment नहीं आ जाती सबकी, तो वैसे मैं I was stuck in the mid. कई लोग ही आ जाती है, so I was stuck in the middle. And just like that, I called up one of the jury members and मैंने पूछा that, ma'am, my presentation went pretty well. So where did I go wrong? And she said, Saina, we love the way you speak, etc., etc. But honestly, आपकी जो presentation थी, it was all crap. And asked कि ये क्या हुआ? And then she said that you're not working in a corporate, right? You have started your own project, and project means it should be people oriented. तो आपने लोगों के साथ क्या काम करा है? So that was the first eye opener कि मैंने genuinely लोगों के साथ कुछ काम ही नहीं करा. तो मैंने अपनी mentor को call करा and I asked her, ma'am, please tell me मेरे 2 weeks में वापस go no go. And she said, do one thing, you should start taking customer interviews. Now, customer interviews in any foundation or any project, it refers to the data that you collect after interactions with your target audience. And मेरी target audience were underprivileged adults and girls and women. So मेरे house के 3 floors पे 3 different didis come. So I started by interacting with them. And believe me not, I was shocked to know that 2 out of 3 still use old rags on their periods. And उनसे पूछो कि आप कौन सा कपड़ा यूज करते हो, they said जो भी मिल जाता है. So they weren't even sure that if that cloth is, still, is it fine for your skin, if it's dermatology, it's just not good for your health. And उसके बाद मैंने जब और ज़्यादा research करी, I got to know that so many girls drop out, not only in India, but in the whole world, just because they don't have proper access to menstrual products. So that was again a very, very big eye opener for me. And what I did, then I started, my project's aim, it expanded to advocating and spreading awareness about menstrual hygiene and sustainable menstruation. Because sustainability पे हम तब जा ही नहीं सकते अगर अभी तक आपको menstrual hygiene के बारे में नहीं पता, right? So that's how my aim expanded to menstrual hygiene and sustainable menstruation. And very luckily, I cleared the level 1 and reached level 2. Now, level 2 was a very rigorous process because this was the time when you had to conduct most of your awareness sessions, your sustainable pad drives, etc., etc. And I started by conducting, awareness sessions with the Shelter Progetto India homes, where I interacted with underprivileged adolescent girls, and we Masoom Foundation के साथ उनकी underprivileged जो girls and women हैं उनके साथ I collaborated. And मैंने जब अपने session start करे, I had to know, see, I realized one thing कि मेरे project में first go में nobody will openly talk about it. So I had to create that atmosphere where I had to reassure them that what you're talking about is fine. It's absolutely normal and you should talk about it. So that was the first thing, and reassuring them. उसके बाद से that whole journey began. Then after my sustainable, all the sustainable awareness sessions, I started conducting sustainable pad drives, where not only did I give them sustainable sanitary napkins, but I also gave them normal sanitary napkins that first you should start using these and then shift to the sustainable alternatives. And then the second aspect to level 2 was about fundraising. Now, the main aspect about fundraising, the main concept was not that you need to, start collecting funds, but you have to reassure and convince the people. You need to gain their trust that the funds that you're donating it's being utilized for a good cause. बाद से I circulated with my family members, with my friends, my mom's friends, my dad's friend, and उसके बाद एक काफी positive impact आया. And I'm very happy to share that I was the first student of level 2 to make it to level 3. And in the month of July in 2023, I got to know that I will be representing the Indian youth contingent at the United Nations headquarters in New York in the month of November. Thank you so much. Then later on, I thought जब level 3 में आ गए, things will be, more chill. But level 3 was where we were being trained about what the UN expects from us, right? And not only do we have to just be there as a normal youth person, but we have to, represent not only your country, but you have to think like a global citizen. What are your opinions about the globe? Abhi tak we were only, there for the national stats, but अब आपको पूरे globe के बारे में सोचना and how you can overcome and combat this problem. So all of that happened, and simultaneously, I'm also happy to share that Project Kamakhya won the Global Sustainability Award for SDG 5 at the India International Center in New Delhi, and I was felicitated. Project Kamakhya was felicitated by the Honorable Minister Shri Ashwini Kumar Choubeji for Public Distribution and Environmental Affairs. So that happened, and a month later, in the month of October, so we were flying, the whole 1M1B team, we were flying for the Activate Summit in the month of November, and in October, they announced this competition. It's a very prestigious award where all the students were competing for the title of the social media's favorite award, right? And इसमें होता क्या है, all of the project founders, they upload this video about their project, summing it up under 2 minutes. And the project कि video which gets the maximum engagement on Instagram, the maximum number of likes, comments, shares, etc., will win this prestigious title. So naturally, I was very hyped up about this. I created this video and I told my mom कि मेरे को ये award जीतना ही जीतना है, because not only is it prestigious, I really think that my project also deserves that attention, because अभी तक इतने ज़्यादा followers मेरे page पे नहीं थे. So my mom then circulated it because it was a public activity. All of the students were going around checking बाकी projects के likes, the comments, and मेरे very happily काफी आगे से. So I was happy that yes, I'll win this. However, on the day before the summit, on the evening before the summit, they were supposed to announce the results at dinner. But forget it, top three pe bhi nahi. I didn't, Project Kamakhya didn't reach till even in the top 10. So I was shattered and I was like, कि ये हो कैसे सकता है? So I went back home. Because my dad was accompanying me on this trip, I told him that this is not fair. And then he called up one of the senior coordinators of 1M 1B, and the whole night the 1M 1B team re-evaluated the results, and that too manually for all the 2030 projects. And around 5:30 in the morning on 30th November 2023, I received the call that yes, Project Kamakhya has won the social media's favorite award, which is actually right there, if you can bring it. Yes. And right, so this is the social media's favorite award, and I'm very happy to share that I won that. So my presentation at the United Nations Summit, at the 1M 1B Activate Summit, it went pretty well, and I was humbled and obliged to have shared that space with very important dignitaries like Madam Ruchira Kamboj, who's India's permanent representative to the United Nations, and Sir Mahir Nasir, who's the UN Global Director of Outreach. So that all happened, and we ended our day with a good dinner, and then I came back here and continued with my project. So I think this whole journey, it has taught me a couple of key aspects which I'll like to cover it up. Number one, I think one should always be determined. We hear this very often. हमारे मम्मी पापा भी हमें बोलते हैं. But I think okay, so determination is something which has been the key concept. It's the sole thing which has helped me throughout this journey. Number two, never lose faith in goodness. I think I was wrong so many times. I was rejected so many times, but my intentions were pure. एंड जब आपने उस चीज को सोच लिया है कि हाँ मेरे को करना ही करना है, देन यू हैव टू वर्क फॉर इट एंड इट विल हैपन. सो दैट इज वन थिंग. आई मीन, you can start by setting a target as small as getting full marks in your exam, or as big as going to the moon. So it can be anything, right? But if you're determined, it definitely will happen. So all of that happened, and I think the humanitarian aspect of mine, the humanitarian aspect in me, because today in the 21st century हम इतने technology oriented हो गए हैं that हम लोग लोगों से interact करना, we have we've completely forgotten about that. हम अपने parents से नहीं बात करते, and it's all technology based, right? But throughout this journey I met so many people. I understood about the psychology of all these women and girls. To aaj tak they feel inferior in front of the society. So that is so important. And nobody really talks about it, because we assume that abhi tak to sab kuch normal ho chuka hai, but nahi hua hai. And I think we all can do our own bit by talking to our house helps, by talking to the didis around us, and by talking to anyone and everyone who who feel that they're not comfortable. So all of that happened, and then I would like to thank a couple of right, and then okay, so this, I think I got to learn about many sustainable alternatives, right? I discovered about pad incinerator machines. वो होती क्या है? And so basically pad incinerator machines, what they do is, if you dispose of a normal sanitary napkin in a pad incinerator machine, it converts it into ash, and that ash can be used, you can add it in your decomposers and your etc etc. So it's just not harming the environment, it's doing rather good for your plants, for the environment around us. Then I came across this very beautiful organization. It's called Pad Care, and I connected with them. where they said that the people from this foundation, they come and collect the pad waste, they take it to their factories, they segregate it, they manufacture it, and they make it into products like this diary and this brochure that I'm holding. It's actually made out of pad waste products, right? Because they've manufactured it. So I came across all these good things. So that happened, and I would like to thank so many people. I can't really go on saying all their names, but all the people who've been throughout this journey with me. My school, Ridge Valley, our principal, Nidhi ma'am, Neelu ma'am, who've been so supportive throughout this whole time. So thanks to them, because Ridge Valley honestly has given me the wings to fly. The 1M1B Foundation and their amazing mentors. Project Kamakhya is incomplete without mentioning the wonderful team we have. But and lastly, I would like to thank my beautiful friends and my parents who have been so supportive. My mom, who has helped me in every aspect of Project Kamakhya, all her contributions, because she's my absolute rock. So thank you so much to her. Um, and I think yes, that's pretty much it from my side. I think it's been a beautiful journey throughout, and yeah, I'd like to conclude with that. Thank you so much.